Good news, everyone. Scientists have now developed technology to read your mind. Sweet, right? Remember that old idea that no matter how totalitarian and invasive governments or corporations became, you would always be safe within the private inner world of your thoughts? Well, kiss that goodbye. The last shred of you that they didn't own, they now do. And if it is ever discovered that human beings do in fact have souls, you can bet that they'll eventually own those as well. I'm still waiting for the day that they start to broadcast their commercials right into our dreams. Oh well, look at the bright side. Maybe they'll let you opt out for, $20 a month. Even more concerning, there are some early signs that this technology is right-leaning. Why? Because just like every idiot you can't stand on Twitter, the mind-reading AI struggles with pronouns. The suspect in the recent Texas mass shooting was revealed today to be an immigrant named Francisco Oropesa Perez Torres. I just call him Francis. Who had already been deported from America 4 times. This has led to a lot of right-wingers to opine that if only we do a better job securing our borders, maybe the victims would still be alive. Which is true, but they'd also still be alive if he was aborted. So, I knew this mass shooter, Francis, wasn't an American when he actually managed to get away from the scene of the crime. That's the problem with our local mass shooters. They're all lazy. They got no hustle. They shoot a bunch of people and then they just hang around. Go! Run! Why are you waiting around to get shot for? This recent attack has, of course, outraged the local mass shooters union, 404, who are upset that yet another quintessential American job is being outsourced to Hispanic immigrants. The FBI, by the way, has put out some very important information about the shooter. Get this, you guys. The shooter, the mass shooter, is armed and dangerous. Pretty snazzy detective work there, guys. How'd you piece that together? Sherlock Holmes on the case, ladies and gentlemen. Federal judge named John Gallagher has ruled that Saucon Valley Middle School in Saucon Valley must allow the after-school Satan Club on First Amendment grounds. The school tried to censor the club after some local Christian nutjobs apparently threatened to shoot up the school over it. Guess they forgot about that whole thou shalt not kill thing, huh? Making a gun threat against a school in 2023 seems kind of redundant, doesn't it? I mean, I assume every school kid in America faces each new day the same way a gladiator faces the walk into the Coliseum, with the full knowledge that they might end the day in a pool of their own blood. But hey, at least gladiators got to die for the roar of the bloodthirsty crowd and not just because some incel with mommy issues wasted them on their way to social studies. A horny young lady had a screaming orgasm at the Los Angeles Philharmonic's performance of Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony at the Walt Disney Concert Hall on Friday. Witness Molly Grant said, "I saw the girl after it happened and I assumed she had an orgasm because she was heavily breathing and her partner was smiling and looking at her like in an effort to not shame her. It was quite beautiful." Yes, indeed it was. Some early reports claimed that the commotion was so great that the orchestra stopped playing, but that's not true. They just quickly signaled for the mop boy, and kept on playing. Apparently, this is not all that uncommon. Tchaikovsky does have that effect on a lot of women. By the way, a fella named Anurag Chandra was convicted of murdering 3 boys in California after they knocked on his door and mooned him. Too bad he wasn't a Republican senator. If he had been, he would have just viewed teenagers mooning him as a free show. So Anurag chased the boys down in his car and ran them off the road, killing all 3 of them. He claimed he did it to protect his family because I guess he felt like teenage boy butts were going to murder his wife or something. He was also drunk on 12 beers at the time. These boys were kind of stupid because their getaway car was a Prius. I've got nothing against the Prius, but it's not a great getaway vehicle. You might want to get something with a little bit more get up and go if you're planning to be chased by a drunken mooning victim who's convinced that your butt has put his family in some sort of mortal peril. 18-year-old B. Hayes, not to be confused with Rutherford B. Hayes, who uses they, he pronouns just to be difficult, wasn't allowed to go to the prom because they were wearing a suit. Now, obviously, if they'd been allowed to wear this suit, it would have caused chaos at the Nashville Christian School event. The punch would have immediately curdled into cyanide. The DJ would find that all of their records had transformed into Steely Dan, and a portal to hell would have opened, where once there had been a dance floor, and the demons would have come pouring out. And in the innocent land of Italy, home of the mafia and the birthplace of fascism, people have decided they're going to get riled up over a big-butted, big-boobied mermaid statue. Apparently, some Italian fuddy-duddies feel that this statue is too provocative. I feel like it's just provocative enough. By the way, Disney, take note. This is how you do a goddamn mermaid, okay? Now, if you all excuse me, I'm going to put on some Tchaikovsky and appreciate the artistry of this statue in a little more detail. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck